my name's Emer and I am the Irish Stitcher. Today is the 1st of May, which if you don't know marks the start of Stitch Mania. What is Stitch Mania? Great question. Definitions vary, depends on who you ask. What I commonly see is people use it as a time to do a load of starts. Sometimes that's a start every day, start every other day. I think last year I did a start, 4 starts maybe, a start every weekend. This year I'm not doing any starts. I have picked out 12 whips and I'm gonna do a random number generator every day and I'm gonna see what comes up. I'm gonna work on what comes up. Normally I'd like to at least work on a piece a couple of days in a row because I just find it easier to leave it in the frame on my Lowry and kind of pick up where I last left off. For the month of May, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to possibly end up working on a different piece every day. I kept it to 12, kind of almost at random, to be honest. I picked up basically 12 whips. I didn't want to overwhelm myself, so I haven't gone with all of my whips, but I wanted there to be a decent variety. 12 whips does mean that most pieces on average will get 2 days. Some will get 3, probably some will get 1. There's a chance that some will get none, but by law of averages it'll average out. My apologies, by the way, if I sound a little hoarse. I'm just getting over a cold. It was really bad last week. Thankfully I am mostly over it. Really took it out of me, and of course I was in that really awkward stage where I was not sick enough to sleep all day, but too sick to actually do anything fun, so I didn't get a lot of stitching done last week. Anyway, back on topic for Mania, I'm going to show you where I am with these whips to start with, and then at the end of the month I'll do an update and you'll see what I got done in this month of May. So, I have the whips laid out in front of me in order of the numbers that I've assigned to it. So like I said, I'll be picking a number every day from 1 to 12, with the exception of number 11. 11 is the needles dance piece that I mentioned in my last video that I was hoping to, start. It arrived, I did make a little start on it, and then at the weekend I was attending a wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. It was great crack, loved it. Really lovely ceremony. I teared up a little bit. But I brought that project home to work on while I was traveling on the night before, and I ended up leaving it at my parents'. I had to get a bus back to Dublin, and it was easier to get it from a different town on the way home than to go back to my parents just to pick up a cross stitch. So if the number 11 comes up, I'll postpone it to near the end of the month when I get to visit my parents again. There is also the Bella Filipina retreat coming up this month, which I'm really excited for, and at the moment I only have one Bella Filipina whip. So what I will probably do there is work on Lakapati every day that I'm there, but because I'm getting full days of stitching, with the exception of Sunday when I have to go home, I will work on, I'll spend a couple of hours on Lakapati, I'll roll my number, work on whatever comes up, and there's a chance that it might be Lakapati again, and maybe Lakapati again in the evening. So I'll keep up with my Mania. Lakapati will just be getting some extra attention, which to be honest she needs. I'd love to get her finished this year, but she's so big. Anyway, speaking of big bright pieces, first up is Dark Queen of the Sea. This was a stitch along in, I want to say 2021, maybe the end of 2021, start of 2022, and I'll be honest, I thought I had all 3 fish done. I don't even have that much done. I think the 3 fish were part 1 of a number of parts. I love this piece and I love seeing it finished. I just haven't been motivated to work on it. And to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm even further back than I thought I was. Guess I've got to hope that this comes up. Next up, number 2, Hunter-Gatherer by Rosewood Manor. I work on this piece in September, and that's probably about it. I've no excuse. I love this piece. Looking at those birds along the top makes me happy. That big corner makes me happy. The colours make me happy. Don't know why I don't work on it more. I feel a little bit guilty now. That's 2 whips that I'm both like, why haven't I worked on those? Anyway, whip number 3 is something you are probably going to be very familiar with. Andromeda. This is my skin recolor of Andromeda. The rock she's sitting on is bloody massive, but that's the horizontal line at the bottom is the bottom line of the rock. There'll be a lot of water. I still have a bit of her dress to do. Like this side flaring out. I have to finish her hair, and then there's beading. Quite a lot to do, to be honest. I started this in... Did I start it in 2020 or 2021? It was probably 2020, to be honest. Or was it 2021? It was 21, I think. No, because I have been to 2 no-bam retreats at the end of the year. And I had just started her before the October-November no-bam retreat. My first one, which was 2021. Okay, she's not as old as I thought, but like, I'd still love to get her finished this year. Finished and framed would be nice. Oh boy. Next up is one of my oldest whips. It's Elegant Geisha. This was a Dimensions Gold kit that I bought in 2019. I started stitching in 2019, and I bought her the summer of 2019 when I went over to the UK. Someone digitized the pattern for this into a saga file, and having that made me really enjoy stitching on her more. And I gave her a good push at the start of the year, so I'm excited to get her out again. And it'll be, having that digital file, especially for this, makes it so much easier. Really, really more pleasant to work on. Another one, Bayeux Cat. I've lost track of what number I'm on at this stage, to be honest. Bayeux Cat, another one that I could potentially get finished this year. I have worked on it a bit this year. I've been focusing on the bottom border. The cat needs filling out, and then there's a little bit of motifs surrounding him. All of these whips, basically, I picked them because I knew I would enjoy working on them. I was already setting myself the challenge of changing every day, that I at least wanted each day to be a, yay, I get to work on this, rather than, guess I have to work on that. So yeah. Next is one of my newer whips, Dilemma. Da, da, da. Haven't touched this since you last saw it. I last worked on it in March, so not that long ago. But yeah, not much to say about this, to be honest. But there he is. Next up, my biggest whip, Maidens of the Seasons. Specifically, I'm going to be working on Spring Maiden. gorgeous. I love her face. I'm so excited to stitch on her face. Isn't she beautiful? Love, 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 love. Like I said, I did set myself the goal of finishing spring this year so that I can have the whole piece framed in 4 years' time. Every time I say that, it feels like such a long time away, and yet at the same time, I realise, oh, I have to stitch a lady a year. Ambitious, Emer. Next, coming in at number something, is the lady herself, Patty. Oh, look at her. As always, the camera has a hard time picking up the colour, although it might be decent now. I don't know, I find that the camera really washes out the green, and it's this beautiful, like, emerald green fabric. So yeah, I almost hope she doesn't come up too much outside the retreat, just so I get a lot of variety this month. Okay, another one of my newer starts is Thistle by Nora Corbett. I don't think I've touched her much since you last saw her. I've all the skin done. I'm going to be working on her boots, the hair, the wings, the beads, and the finish. I really like her. I think she's so cool. I like that she's got a little bit of edge to her because she's a thistle rather than delicate flower. Not that I don't love the floral fairies. Okay, nearly down to my last whips. This is Night Walked Down. I am doing it on 40 count linen, 2/2. And I have been considering whether or not that is wise. I do love how the two threads looks. Like, for example, the black, the coverage on that is fantastic. And there are some... No, sorry. I'm doing her skirt as a blend of two threads. The camera's not going to pick it up, but it looks really, really cool. It's like a teal and a navy. And it gives her skirt a great texture. It looks like it's made out of a woven material. But I am wondering if I shouldn't do the flowers and everything else around her 1/1. I'll do the cat. Sorry. I will do the cat 2/2, and I'm wondering if I should do the flowers and the words 1/2. It will be a visible difference in coverage, but I think that I could get away with it because the lady is the central motif, so she'll stand out as really defined, and then the flowers might look a little bit paler, a little bit less coverage. I might even try it this month, do one flower beside her, 1/2, and see how the two different coverages look on one piece. I think I could get away with it, but I'm not certain. Let me know if you've ever tried anything like that, mixing coverage in a piece. I know people will mix going over 2 on a piece and then go over 1 for the skin, but it's not quite the same. Don't know how it'll look. What I would show you next is the needle stance. That's with my parents. If you want to see what that one looks like, go to my previous video and you can see it there. I really don't have much at all done. I've just started in the middle. And finally, Chubby Bird. Jeep, jeep. Fairly certain I've made some progress since I last filmed. I really hope I have anyway. Yeah, that, depending on if it comes up once, I don't think I could get it finished 2 or 3 times. I might even get it finished this mania. Wouldn't that be wild? Whew. All right. I feel like my voice has gotten even hoarser since I started filming from talking. But that is my Mania plans, and reviewing those whips, I'm really, really excited to touch some of those again. Yeah, let me know what your plans are for Mania. Are you doing like I'm doing and cycling through your whips? Are you doing any new starts? Are you one of those people who do a new start every day? I'd love to do that, but I'd be left with double the amount of whips at the end of the month. And I think that would stress me out, to be honest. As well as prepping all those whips. I know you wouldn't need to prep everything. You'd need the fabric and a couple of colours for, if you're starting in the corner, you'd need the corner colours and so on. But that's still a lot to prep. I don't know. Let me know what your plans are. And until next time, bye.